What's up, Internet? Don here from dondoes30.com with another hacking tutorial. And actually, this is a follow-up to a previous tutorial that I made about WordPress hacking. If you haven't watched that video, I highly recommend starting there. It's the Finding Vulnerabilities and Usernames to Hack WordPress Sites. Now, I've gotten a lot of questions and a lot of feedback saying, well, great, I have the usernames. Now what the hell do I do? Well, now you start hacking. But I guess, reading the help file, people don't like doing that anymore, which is fine, because if people actually read the help file and the manual, it would put me out of business. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually just going to hack into my local site. I created just a simple WordPress template. There's really nothing on it, just your typical hello world. And I'm going to first go over real quick the original tutorial, and then we'll get into brute force hacking the password to get into the administrator backend. So let's start by opening up our terminal, and what we're going to do is we're just going to do the WP scan and the URL, which in my case I'm going to be using the local host. Now you could set this again to any URL that you want that you're trying to get in. Just make sure it is a WordPress site before you start wasting your time. And I'm going to enumerate the usernames like we did last time. Now, because this is on a local host, it should be fairly quick. And once we get that username, we'll go ahead and attempt to brute force the password. Now, just like any brute force attack, you do have to have a great word list. I created a small one for myself, but at the end of the tutorial, I'll show you exactly where to get some of the word lists that Kali Linux has. Also, you could generate your own word lists, which will come in a future tutorial. There's a great tool out there to really customize word lists around certain victims. Alright, so now we have our username, and admin is the default, and it looks like, silly me, I was using the admin username. Now that we have that, let's go ahead and we'll do WP scan again. And I have a feeling this is going to cut off, so let me widen this for you guys. Alright, so we're going to use the URL, localhost. Again, that could be any WordPress site that you'd like. And this time we're going to do word list. I think it's word list or word lists. Let's try word list first. Now, this is the file that contains the passwords that it's going to brute force against. And I'm going to type in username admin like last time, or the admin that we found. And I didn't, there we go. Alright. So we hit enter. WP scan now is going to use every file that or every password that I have in this dictionary word list against the username admin. And hopefully our password is in that file. There it is. Perfect. Now, of course, this went rather quickly for two reasons. Number one, I only used 21 passwords in this list, okay, just for demonstration purposes. It looks like my password, the dondoes30, which I purposely put in there, was probably about number 19, number 20, just to kind of give you the full effect. But you can brute force with millions and millions of passwords and still not get in. And that's because the password that you have is not on the list. Or excuse me, the password that the victim has set up in the system is not on the list that you're trying to crack. Now, of course, a list of 20 passwords really isn't going to do shit in the long term. So let me show you where to get more passwords. Now, Kali Linux, of course, includes one of the best lists that I've seen in a while. It's called the RockU list. I think it has about 14 million passwords listed in there. To find that, you'd go to user, share, word lists, I believe, and yep. Alright, so here's some other password lists to get you started. As you can see, let's go to the SQL map. Yeah, so that's Jesus, I'm going to stop that right there. I just, out of curiosity. So the SQL map, that has about 1.2 million passwords, okay? So that's definitely a more hefty list than what I had for 20. But the RockU, let's see. Can't remember how to use this. Of course. Decompress. There it is. Rock you. Alright, so sorry about that. Little hiccup. Now that it's gone ahead and decompressed the rocku.txt, let's see how many passwords there are. This has, let's do our math here, 14.3 million passwords in the rocku.txt. That should sustain you for a while. Now, I do have to tell you that I did run the rocku password file. I was trying to brute force a local, what do you call it, router, and the password wasn't in there. So you could even run 14 million passwords against a site or a router or anything and still not get in, just to let you know. So anyway, that's exactly how you would use a brute force attack against a WordPress site. If you guys have any questions or comments, let me know in the comment section, and thanks for watching.